2022 was the busiest year for Smash Ultimate yet, and potentially the busiest in all of Smash history. It felt like majors were happening almost every weekend with notable players from around the world consistently in attendance. Today, out of the 1,200 plus players who met qualification, we will be showcasing the top 100 Ultimate players worldwide for the 2022 competitive season. If you are not familiar with us, OrionRank was founded back in 2015 and has been an algorithmic full-year ranking done for the modern Smash titles. This methodology has a heavier focus on players' wins and losses from different weighted events. If you want to find out more about the details on how the ranking works, in the description is the tournament tiering system. This showcases every tournament that is counted, their weight, and the rankings methodology for this year. The events that count have had to take place after Smash World Tour Championships in 2021, and before up to the Scuffed World Tour in 2022, with that time period covering over 950 events. To keep things brief, the tournaments that hold the most weight are these Super Majors, and these major events. Without further ado, let's get started. Starting things off with a bang, we have Oceania's best player. The longtime #1 of Australia, Jay Dizzle is also one of the best active Young Link players and traveled a decent bit during the year. Key to him placing top 100 is his finish at BAM 12, where he'd win 9 sets and losers to take the event despite an early loss to Sepro 101. This is not the first time an Australian has been ranked top 100, but the continued resilience of the scene despite its isolation is impressive, and Jay Dizzle has led the charge in 2022.
There's no way.
There's no way.
It does catch him in the
There's
air.
no way.
Jay
Dizzle
takes BAM, number 12, baby.
Chicago comes in clutch at the 99th with Atata. Long one of Illinois' biggest threats, Atata narrowly snuck into the top 100 through a combination of good losses and a solid peak at Rise and Grind where he defeated Cosmos and Skittles. Notably, his worst event this season, SmashCon, saw a brutal 65th to Light and Siski. While a lot of players have similar win and loss profiles, Atata's consistency is what gave him the edge this year to make his first ever global top 100 finish. As with most Steve players on the top 100, Quandale made an early impact in the Steve meta by beating Tweak in the Weight 2021. This set the tone for the year to come, though it would not be Quandale's sole accomplishment. During 2022, he would attend dozens of regionals and weeklies, grinding his way through Tri-State's difficult metagame. While his Super SmashCon run would see a 9th placement, his bracket was weirdly empty to top-level threats. In spite of this, he'd go on to easily defeat a number of players at the Liquid Smash Invitational, with Goblin, Big D, and Zachary as some highlights. He would end the year at Apex 2022, where he defeated Icymus and Jackal, two significant wins that show growth for the up-and-coming Steve main. Chubu's current top Samus is the first of many of the bounty hunter on the top 100. Flying under the radar, Tora was often known for placing consistently and often barely coming up short of a big win that helped define this year. While he never had a jaw-dropping run during the year, he would have impressive top 12 finishes at Maizuma top 8 and 9. In particular, his wins over Shogun, Dio, Yamanaction, and Subatsubo at top 8 were big factors in him being ranked top 100.
You confirm with the Metal Blade?
And
Nah.
this-
Back here catches it.
In conversations of top Sonic players, Taike tends to fly under the radar. He was good enough to make the top 100 last year, and despite some mixed results earlier in the year, he'd reel things in. Across the year, despite often placing a bit low, Taike would collect important wins. Manzoku, Takara, Sigma, T, Hikaru, Abadango, and more come to mind. Then he'd put it together with a top 8 major run late in the year. That major, Saibugeki 12, proved to be an effective last-minute Hail Mary that secured his ticket to the top 100. He placed 5th at the event, notably beating Kameme on the way.
その身を守ってくれた。これが試合を動かすのか。空中した上京たまらず撃墜。
Umeki is an interesting player. Oftentimes, he will have a good few performances that salvage an otherwise rough season and put him back in the conversation. This is no different, with several 25th and 49th at majors seemingly being washed away by runs at Saibugeki 12 and Kaguribi 8. He placed second at Saibugeki 12, taking wins over Repo and Yaman Action in the process. While this is solid, his true highlight run is probably his 7th at Kaguribi 8, where he stuck in wins over Yoshi, Noi, and Paseraman despite an early loss. Despite some rough around the edge performances, Meki refuses to go down without a fight, giving him a place on the top 100.
Good avoidance there. Red Bull needs to get this game.
Nope, not gonna get it. Double fair.
Meki shuts down.
It's easy to forget that Munikin was the first big Rio main to take names in Ultimate. He has stellar pre-quarantine performances despite hailing far away from Kanto and Kansai events, but suffered a bit of a readjustment period after returning to offline play. His year as a whole is admirable, with many good regional performances to offset some of his rougher major performances during the year. Also helping him is a late year 5th place at Kowloon 3, where he defeated Omuwatsu, Shogun, and AIM.
Oh my god, this is okay. Munikin popping
The
off.
pop off for Munikin.
Despite the passing of Michigan's crown to Onin, Sonoda remained relevant in 2022. His wins at events like Black Diamond and Wolverina make it clear that the new generation of players in the state isn't invincible, with Sonoda taking sets over Onin at these events. For major events, Sonoda often came up short of top 32s, the late year runs at the Big House 10 and main stage saw him winning sets over MFA and Base Mage. At Get On My Level, he also defeated up-and-coming Yoshi main Burst, as well as top Go Back Game & Watch main La Grimace.
Good at just making sure that Onin's just truly overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Not give. Oh man.
Oh no.
And that is it. Zenodo takes Black Diamond.
Georgia, once largely known in the scene for Fatality, has transformed into one of East Coast's strongest fortresses. Mugen, a longtime threat in the state and loyal Roy main, unsurprisingly makes the top 100. Largely working off of good regional results, Mugen has set wins on most of his fellow Georgian players. While a few highlights exist, his Glitch Infinite is what sealed his inclusion onto the rankings. He defeated Pele, Tilde, and Leon in a number of close sets until he faltered to Cosmos and Glutani, placing 9th.
Going high. He's got to find his way down. Manages to do it right. Oh, he's dead. Oh, he's dead. Oh, my
Pittsburgh's longtime #1 player and the original Samus pioneer Icy Mist once again impresses. Her mid-year wins over Onin proved to age well, and she remained a consistent threat at majors across the year, generally placing in the top 32. At regionals, she'd fare well, often winning Midwestern events or at least taking a few good player wins. Often seeded lower due to scattered attendance, Icy Mist frequently makes big upsets and seems to be on the cusp of a career-defining run. All she really needs is one major top 8, which seems entirely possible in 2023 based on her wins and solid loss record at major events during the year.
Oh, and Icy Mist, another dash deck, and
And Icy Mist, the winner of AMUSC Summer of Law!
One of Kanto's many depth players secured a top 100 spot this year. Using Luigi, Roy, and Steve, Yaman Action would accomplish several major feats over a year after a rough start. At Golden Week, he took sets off of Repo, Nietono, and Masa, a good performance that negated his 1-2 run at Saibugeki 10 just 2 days before Kaguribi 7. Later in the year, he'd frequently attend locals, but peaked a second time at Maisuma Top 10 with wins over Showers and Rarukun. Moving forward, Yaman Action may become one of the many players to sideline Luigi for Steve, a gambit that served most who did it very well.
横スマッシュ飛ぶの知ってるんで僕よっ掴んでこれは打撃
Hailing from Guatemala, Shiny Mark is the second Central American player to be top 100 in the Ultimate's history. After years of success online and dominance in his home nation with Pikachu, Shiny Mark began to travel in late 2021 and would continue to do so in 2022. At Geek Fest, he took a win over Waka and later placed 5th at Mexican Super Major Smash Factor 9, beating MK Big Boss, Siski, Waka, and Wadi. At Cumbre, a Central American Invitational, he trades sets with MK Big Boss and takes sets over top Central American players Ye and Wolfen. While his travel profile is not vast, what we have seen so far is promising, and shows that both he and his country can stand up in an increasingly international era.
Finds himself off stage, but using that surprise back here to not let Shiny Mark get close to the ledge. The dash attack from Shiny Mark is gonna be enough. There's the pop-up.
After Donkey Kong had seemed abandoned by the metagame at large, Chunky Kong came in swinging in 2022 to prove that the character still has a lot to show. While his major performances for much of the year lacked upsets, he performed well locally, attending multiple events a week and totaling over 100 events this year, an average of about 2 events per week. Eventually, his consistent practice would pay off at SmashCon 2022, where after an early loss to Raven King, he'd go on to defeat Doorstop, Goblin, Shattuck, and Wadi in bracket, placing 17th after Legal ended his losers run. More famously, he'd defeat Moist Esports players Kola and Aaron at Let's Make Moves Miami, which put him on the map as one of the world's best DK players.
All right, bye.
Oh, you are gone.
Get
Yeet!
out. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there.
One of the many Prodigy Steve players this year, DD is rarely seen outside of locals. His in-state performances paint him as one of Georgia's strongest players, using both Steve and Pokemon Trainer to great success. His few non-local runs this year all saw varying placements, but all had good wins. He defeated Esam, Louis Money, Riddles, Dark Wizzy, and Goblin, just to name a few top players on his win list across just 3 events.
Oh
The back air.
It is.
DD just takes the first set in their top 8 run.
Seeing his fortunes rise from 2021 to early 2022, Orion would solidify his status as one of France's top players with both European performances and a top 16 run at Genesis 8, where he upset Rafflo, Gact, and Skittles. Mostly a Wolf main, Orion is also the best Dr. Mario player in Europe. After remaining consistent threat at EU Majors late in the year, Orion would make an unexpected upset over T at Leodyssey, handing him a top 10 win for the year. Still being one of the best players in Europe, we wouldn't be surprised if Orion continues on this trend in 2023.
A little too long, unchecked. Oh, and there it is.
Man.
Wow.
T spent.
After a long stint in France top 3 without much international travel, Leon went to February major event Glitch Infinite, where he defeats Skittles, Fatality, and Sen to place 9th. Even at Genesis 8, where he placed 49th, he'd take big wins over Syrup and Chase. Beyond a quiet performance at Battle of BC4, Leon largely attended events in Europe, tending to perform pretty well. He won Stunfest 2022 and a variety of other large French regional events, and placed 9th at French Super Major Colossal 2022, defeating New Jersey's Leon and Germany's Dark Thunder in the process. He ends the year as France's 3rd best, bolstered by consistent EU major performances and some solid North American appearances.
It's rough. You got to imagine Leon's walking it in. Where's the reverse up B? Misses, does not matter. And Leon, 3-1 fatality.
Tijuana has become a hotbed of talent this year. While everyone knows Spargo and many are aware of Alendis, Waka is another top player from the region. Sporting what may be the best active Luigi, Waka has only attended Mexican events during the year. Despite this, he picked up wins over Javi and Dark Wizzy at Smash Factor 9, and would place 2nd at Tijuana at War to Spargo, otherwise defeating the biggest threats at the event. There are many hidden bosses in Mexico, but Waka is one of the top ones to watch going into 2023.
Back at the corner, these down tilts, but unsafe enough. And back here's gonna do it. Waka, solid 3-1.
Among Japan's many Falcon players, Jogabu carved out a top spot for the year. One of the many players who saw his fortunes rise during 2021 in Kansai, he'd ride the momentum into an early 9th finish at Kagari 6, defeating Noi and Ashima on the way. Mid-year, he'd performed well at the Golden Week, placing top 8 at Maisuma top 7 with Dio, Abadango, and Sigma wins. In addition to a solid slate of major performances, he'd be a threat regionally, often placing high at the Sumobato series, including a run at SP28 where he'd defeat Ashimo and Sigma again. His tendency to build positive records over some of Japan's top threats ended up being Jogabu's best accomplishment for 2022.
ここで攻める上に当たってこれはしかし爆弾保険がしかしそれを捉えていくがごとく
ESAM squeezes into the 2022 rankings thanks to key wins scattered across his relatively short year. While he'd often placed just outside of top 8s, he found wins over Tweak, Mutace, Jared is King 1, and Quandale Dingle-Lingleton across the majors he attended. Impacted by low attendance in a Mii-Brawler-led Combo Breaker event, ESAM is ranked deceptively low, having won a major over MK Leo outright in 2021. While this hasn't been a shining year for Pikachu's most well-known main, he's certainly due for a comeback soon, and has shown he could still hang around with the best players this year.
Oh my god!
Back air connects. This is a complete nail biter.
Oh no! He went
the
for fair!
Connects. ESAM able to clutch out game 5.
Southwest Florida longtime champion unsurprisingly makes the top 100 once more. Continuing to pilot Olimar, Myron placed 5th at his first major of the year, Genesis 8, in a highlight performance for the year. He defeated many strong players along the way, most notably Anathema, Icon, and Mars. As the year progressed, he didn't quite find a run as strong as the G8 performance, but he'd still take big wins. At MomoCon 2022, Georgia's big major event of the year, he defeated both Apollo Kage and Vendetta. At events like Ludwig Smash Invitational and Rise Grind, he'd also take sets over Mutace and Dark Wizzy.
Myron in such a solid position to take this and advance to the losers bracket. The anti-air is going to be it, and Myron advances, taking out
After a huge start in 2021, Akaki Kusu saw his fortunes dwindle after a 4-month hiatus. While managing to nab upset wins, he wouldn't have a true return to form until events like Winter Next, where he traded sets with Proto Bonham and became a consistent fixture in Tokyo regional events. One of his better regionals, and a decent highlight for the year, was Wave 1, a regional event that he placed 4th with losses to Ryo. There, he beat Abadango, T, Umeki, Kept, and Kameme, an impressive slate of wins that helped secure him a return to the top 100.
神の精度は完璧だ。横京2枚回避だが、引き空中前攻撃。
MDVA's best has had an odd year. Piloting an unusual trio of characters, Mewtwo, Rob, and Ice Climbers, Wadi has seen varied results. He'd stage a good comeback run at CEO 2022, where he defeated both Sean and Jake, and a month later would place 7th at Smash Factor 9, beating out Mexican notables like Rox and Anguiano. Across the year, Wadi picked up a decent number of wins, but his best was among the earliest. At Glitch Infinite, he defeated Onin twice.
Out of shield option. Oh my god! Oh my god!
He's really trying right now.
He's gonna pass out, brother.
When the
My
boys
heart.
become legends,
My heart.
when the people know, he says no.
Look
You
at
are not
what?
going to do this to me.
Peepnut has been South Carolina's top dog for many years, and has been a loyal Mega Man main since Smash 4. While he's had good years in the past, this is probably his best year to date, seeing him as a runner-up to major event Riptide. At Riptide, he defeated Jake and Zamba, but faltered to Tilde. As with many players at this point in the ranking, Peepnut's standout performance at Riptide is supplemental by wins he collected throughout the year. In particular, his 17th at Collision is a bit deceptive, since he defeated MVD and Cosmos in the process. The thing holding him back is his inconsistent runs at larger majors, but his late year performances managed to lock him in this year's top 100.
They're so close, looked like it was perfectly put, but now the back air is going to be...
Starting the year with some regional events, Dark Wizzy would adjust a bit at his first couple of majors. At Low Tide 2022, despite an early loss to Shu, he saw a return to form with wins over Base Mage, MK Big Boss Suarez, finishing 9th after losing to Zamba. While he continued to be consistent, he had another peak mid-year with a 13th at Smash Factor 9, defeating Reggie Shikimi and Chag. His best runs came at the end of the year, where he'd make his return to major top 8s at the Big House 10, defeating Isam, Zenodo, Mars, and Kameme in the process. This run was his best of the year, and shows he's still a top threat going into 2023.
Fireworks, hot dogs, hamburgers on that one, but either way, nice macing right there by Will Up Smash. The way Dark Wizzy taking it 3-1 over Kameme.
Just like...
Emerging after quarantine from a steady stream of online events, British Luigi player, aptly named Luigi, made a quick impact on the UK scene. In 2022, he began to attend majors, stacking up respectable performances at Colosseum and VCA against foreign talent. His biggest break would come at Smash event Tech Republic 6, a late-year major that saw him sweeping without a set loss. At the event, he defeated Quick, Naderyu, and Mr. R twice, solidifying himself as one of the best active Luigi mains in the world and one of Europe's top players to watch out for in 2023.
Todo porque Lumi le estaremos. Ay,
ay, ay, ay, ay, ay, ay.
And that's it for today. We will be releasing the next 25 the day after this releases, so be sure to subscribe to be notified when the next one is out, as well as for Smash Stack content coming in the near future. There's also more info out on our Twitter at OrionRank that covers number 101 to 150, honorable mentions, and regional rankings. If you also want to support the creators in our future stat projects directly, you can also follow both of us on Twitter. This is Easy Freezy, I will see you all next time, and thank you for watching.